Hi everyone, I want to give you some information regarding the next paper, which is an advertisement analysis, rhetorical analysis type of paper. So let's take a look at a few things here. First of all, make sure you have taken a thorough look through the assignment sheet for paper number 2. So the first page contains some contextual information about how to choose an ad that will work for this paper. So really important to know is that you'll have an ad bank for this paper. So I've compiled and collected lots and lots of different ads that I've chosen because they will work for the prompts I'm giving, and they will all lend themselves to a very deep level of analysis. So you'll choose from within that, and soon you'll have access to that ad bank so you can begin to choose ads that are interesting to you, that you find problematic, and that you want to talk about. The next page has the prompt questions, so your thesis will directly respond to one of these questions. So there's 2 key questions up here, and then some sort of sub questions underneath that are different ways of approaching the 2 key questions. You have some thesis statement templates, so if you're struggling to write a thesis, or you know that's something that's difficult for you, you can use one of these templates, sort of plug in what you want to say about the ad that you choose, and then revise it from there to make it your own and make it read more smoothly. You also have some possible thesis statement drafts. So these were written by actual students in previous semesters, and they're on the right track. They're first drafts, but they're doing it right. Finally, the relevant course objectives and some hints about the overall structure of the paper and examples of what your body paragraphs might contain. So what different things about the ad will you be including in your analysis, as well as what to do in the conclusion. Okay, so I wanted to make sure you know what's going on with that. And then let's go ahead and talk about the concept of rhetorical analysis and why we are analyzing advertisements. And so first of all, this is going to be an analysis of a print advertisement. So basically an ad that would appear in a magazine. To review, analysis is a detailed examination of the different parts of something. So you will have an overall thesis, and then throughout your paper, anytime you're doing any type of rhetorical analysis, you're going to be talking about the little details of the thing and how all those details are working together to achieve the overall purpose. If you were doing a rhetorical analysis of a poem, you would point out different words in the poem and how all those words related. You would talk about different ways it's rhyming, right? So all the little different details. In this case, you're analyzing an ad, so you're going to be analyzing all the little parts of the ad. So you might talk about the color scheme. You might talk about why something is very huge in the ad. You could talk about why the woman in the ad looks like this. You could talk about the slogan and the words that are included in the ad and how all those things are working together to achieve the purpose of the ad. Rhetoric then, so we're doing a rhetorical analysis. So rhetoric is the art of effective communication, or any language designed to have a persuasive impact on its audience. In fact, it doesn't even have to be language. We're considering anything that communicates worthy of analysis. So images communicate to us, right? And so we're going to be analyzing the rhetoric of not just the words in the ad, but the images in the ad and why those choices were made and how those choices help persuade people to buy the products, even when and often they're not necessary products. They are influencing us. We are highly influenced by advertisements because ads are so sneaky. They are so good at persuading us through visuals, through, all the other components of advertising. And we see so many of them. We see them while we're driving. We see them on our phones. We see them on TV. We see them on every piece of packaging is an ad. So they're everywhere. And if we are blind to the ways that they're working on us, then, we're sort of trapped in this, consumer life where we don't really understand why we feel compelled to purchase all these things. So as we're thinking about rhetorical analysis, we want to look at details of the ad, and ads are full of details. Even if they're simple, their use of white space is important and significant. So here's an ad that is just absolutely chock full of details. Now, if you look at the slogan, where flavor is king, the message of this ad is simply the explicit message, right? The surface level message is, this is a flavorful whiskey. right? That is the explicit message. Buy this product, it's a flavorful product. But ads don't always work on just the explicit level because they're highly visual. And okay, so here's a quote from Hugh Rank that I think is going to be really important to the way that we go about analyzing these ads. Visuals imply. They do not always state explicit rational messages. They imply or suggest emotional feelings and attitudes. Ads will not explicitly promise happiness, success, or popularity, but will show such scenes and let the visuals imply. So this ad for Johnnie Walker whiskey isn't explicitly saying, there's nowhere in the ad that actually says the people who drink this whiskey are or will be classy, sophisticated. Never does the ad say that this is who you are if you drink this whiskey, or you will achieve these things if you drink this whiskey. But because the visual is there, it implies, it's an implicit promise that these things come along with purchasing the item. And that's how brands create brand loyalty. So you might be a Johnnie Walker guy, right? Because this is how, you know, it may not be reality. This might not be who you actually are, but this is sort of how you want to see yourself, or your ideal identity, right? And so as we're thinking about the ads that we want to choose, we want to look for ads that persuade in manipulative ways, because that's going to make the most interesting analysis. Ads that seem to promise a social reward as a result of purchasing and using the product. You will become more popular. You will become more sexually desirable. Suggests that with this product, you can achieve a deep desire or avoid a deep social fear. This one is probably the most common. Associates the product or brand with a specific class or status. So on the one hand, you have sort of ads that appeal to like classiness. On the other hand, you have ads or brands that associate themselves with like a down home type of status. And almost every product does one of these two things. So we will always be looking at social class as we're analyzing these ads. Associates the product or brand with a desirable lifestyle or sense of identity. So this is sort of who we want to be, and that's why we feel connected to the brand. This product is for this type of person. This product will help you become this type of person. And also very common, almost every ad that has a man or a woman, probably every ad that has a man or a woman, or anybody, right? An old person, a young person, sends implicit messages of what it means to be a real man, what it means to be a real woman, or sexuality, like promises of sexual rewards or something like that. So look at these ads. Alcohol ads are always sort of ripe for analysis. So think about what these ads say about masculinity. Think about what they say about femininity and gender and sexuality. What do they say about social class and status? So you can notice there's a big difference between how you know, like the portrayal of sexuality and also the portrayal of class and status. These guys are literally like on the side of a road, right? Having their little party here. They're in normal clothes, and they're chilling, right? They've got this old school boom box and they're drinking Bacardi. Here we have a very different situation. We've got body parts, so we don't even have faces. So there's a message about sexuality. They appear to be on a plane, but not like scrunched in on a plane, right? They're having a different type of experience. They've got, you know, a different type of cocktail going on. So it's a totally different message about social desires, desirable lifestyle, sense of identity, sense of belonging, sexuality. It's all here in these. You can look at color scheme as well as you're thinking about these. So we talked about composition. The color scheme here is blue, black, and then skin tones and white, right? So we have sort of this classiness here, whereas this is more of like, you know, like a everyday people type of appeal that's going on. Here we definitely have a message about class and about masculinity. Men talk about women, sports, and cars. Women talk about men inside sports cars. So on the other hand, a lot of products that market themselves as a more of like a down home or like a rugged vibe. Harley Davidson definitely has, brand loyalty. If you are a Harley Davidson person, you have the shirts, right? You have the motorcycles, but you also have like wall decor, not necessarily everyone, but they sell a lot of that stuff. That's brand loyalty. People become loyal to the brand. So much so that there's almost this, well, I'm a Harley Davidson person, I'm not that type of person. And these ads appeal to that. So it says, may wind be the only product in your hair. So it's making a statement about the ideal man is a man who doesn't use products in his hair. And that's who the Harley Davidson man is, right? He's not this fancy guy. He's just this rugged, like man's man, right? Who rides his motorcycle. So we are thinking about masculinity. We're thinking about social class. We're thinking about the deep desires of the audience and a sense of identity that the brand tries to connect you with. So as we look at these ads, we're going to think about who's the target audience. What does the ad suggest the target audience wants? What does the ad seem to promise to people beyond, this vodka tastes good? What else does it seem to promise will come with the product? What is the subtext of the ad regarding gender, masculinity, sexuality? What message does the ad send about men and women? So you can look at this and think through those things. And then you also want to think about how the elements of the ad, right? Because this is analysis. So we have to always think about how the different parts of the thing are all working together to send that message. So we can talk about content. We can look at the woman. We can look at the man. He's only a hand, right? He's hidden in this super modern type of chair. The woman's clothes, the woman's posture, what the woman is holding, what the woman looks like, right? The even like the ethnicity or race of the people included in the ad. The background, the images, like the alcohol is here and we have the city in the background. You can also think about composition. This is here, this is here, this is big, this is small, right? To emphasize different things. Color is important. Sky vodka ads are usually blue, black, and white, and then the skin tones of the people included. Those are colors highly associated with like modernity and classiness. And then copy any words or slogans that are included. This one has none, and that's important too. The only words are the words on the label itself. So an analysis is explaining, seeing all those things, and then explaining how all those things are working together for this overall message of what the message of the ad, what the ad seems to be suggesting, or the type of identity being appealed to in the ad. So the next thing that you need to do, it is also your job then to read this essay that's foundational to our rhetorical analysis of ads from Jack Solomon called Masters of Desire, The Culture of American Advertising. Here are a few key ideas from that essay. So a few key quotes that are really going to inform how we go about studying these ads. Appealing to our subconscious emotions rather than to our conscious intellects, advertisements are designed to exploit the discontentments fostered by the American dream. So they exploit our unhappiness, basically. The constant desire for social success and the material rewards that accompany it. So these ads exploit our desire for social success, and they exploit our desire for the material rewards that accompany social success. He also says ads work, they work on us, they convince us to buy by creating symbolic associations between the product and what is most coveted by the consumers to whom they are addressed. So ads create an association between the item, that we buy and whatever we want. This essay in class when we meet again. And there are also essay questions over this essay just to help make sure that you are reading and comprehending since it's such an important essay for our unit.